What if everything you thought you knew about life, death, and eternity was a lie? What if someone who died, crossed over to the other side, and came back had a terrifying message that could change everything? This is exactly what happened to a former KKK leader, a man who spent his life spreading hate, only to face a shocking revelation when he met Jesus on the other side. What he saw, it broke him. It shattered everything he believed. And now, before he takes his final breath, he has a message for the world and for you. Many people think they have time. They assume they can make things right later. But what if later never comes? What if you were to die today? Would you be ready to face the truth? This man was convinced he was serving God, but in death, he discovered something so terrifying that he begged for a second chance. And here's the most shocking part. Most people are making the exact same mistake without even realizing it. Listen carefully, because what you're about to hear is not just another testimony, it's a warning that could mean the difference between eternal light and unthinkable darkness. By the end of this video, you will know the truth about death, the afterlife, and what happens when hate meets divine judgment. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Are you subscribed to this channel? Many people watch our videos, but they forget to subscribe, and that means they miss out on powerful revelations like this. Don't let that be you. Click the subscribe button now and stay with us until the very end, because what you're about to hear might just save your soul. They say death is the great unknown, the final curtain, the end of everything we are. But what if that's not true? What if, instead of an end, it's a beginning, one more real than anything we've ever known? Countless near-death experiences, NDEs, have revealed glimpses of what lies beyond, from the soul-stirring embrace of the divine to the terrifying abyss that awaits the unprepared. And yet, for all the testimonies, for all the stories of crossing over, there's still a question that lingers in the heart of every living soul. What really happens after we die? For some, the journey begins with a sudden detachment, a lightness, an unshackling of the body. Many who have experienced clinical death describe floating above themselves, watching as doctors frantically work to revive them, their own lifeless forms sprawled beneath the fluorescent glare of hospital lights. They call it an out-of-body experience, a moment of realization that they are not their flesh, that they exist beyond the limitations of skin and bone. But then comes the shift, the undeniable pull of another reality, something unseen yet all-consuming. There is a tunnel of light that so many speak of, a passageway unlike anything of this world. Some describe it as a swirling vortex, a radiant bridge, a doorway between realms. It calls to the soul, drawing it forward with an overwhelming sense of love and peace, an embrace so complete that words fail to capture its depth. Those who have crossed into this luminous corridor claim to have seen the other side, a realm more alive than life itself. The air is heavy with warmth, a presence so divine that it dissolves fear in an instant. And for some, this is where they meet him. Yes, him, the one their hearts have longed for, the one their spirits have ached to know. Countless testimonies recount the moment of meeting God in an NDE, a moment so profound that it reshapes their very existence. Some see a figure of light, indescribable in glory, his voice resonating through every fiber of their being. Others hear a presence speak to them, not in words, but in a knowing, a revelation that penetrates beyond thought and reason. And in that moment, everything becomes clear. The purpose of life, the weight of every choice, the reality of love and judgment, all laid bare in an instant. But not all who step beyond this world find themselves in a place of peace. Some experience a terrifying descent, a plummet into darkness where the air is thick with sorrow and suffering. The heaven and hell experience is real, and those who have glimpsed both sides of eternity speak of the stark contrast between the presence of divine light and the absence of it. Those who find themselves in this dreadful abyss cry out, some in anger, some in regret, and for a few, The merciful call of grace pulls them back, a second chance, a miraculous return, and with it a mission to tell the world what they've seen. The moment of death is not the end, it is the beginning, a passage into something greater, something eternal. What awaits on the other side depends not on chance, not on luck, but on truth. The truth about death, the proof of the afterlife, the evidence of what happens beyond. It is all written, waiting to be discovered by those with eyes to see. But the question remains, when your moment comes, will you be ready? Imagine standing before a mirror, but not just any mirror, a mirror that doesn't reflect your face, but your soul. Every thought, every action, every word you've ever spoken, all of it laid bare before you, not as memories, but as living, breathing moments. This is what many who have experienced a near-death experience, NDE, describe as the life review, a moment of reckoning unlike anything in this world. And here's the truth. There is no hiding. There is no excuse. There is only the undeniable reality of who you truly are. Countless testimonies tell of souls who, after crossing over, find themselves engulfed not in judgmental condemnation, but in truth. Some say it happens in an instant, yet within that instant, they relive everything, every joy, every failure, every kindness, every cruelty. They feel the ripple effect of their choices, not just through their own eyes, but through the eyes of those they touched. The angry words spoken in haste, they feel the hurt it caused. The moments of generosity, they feel the warmth it brought. Nothing is lost, nothing is forgotten, and then, for many, comes the most humbling revelation. They do not stand alone in this review. They are not merely recalling their lives, they are seeing it through His eyes. Many who have undergone a meeting with God in an NDE describe His presence as a radiant love, overwhelming yet unshakable in its purity. He does not accuse, He does not shame, He simply reveals. And that is what undoes them, because in that moment, they see the truth about death, that it was never about riches, never about power, never about status. It was always about love. But love, as many discover too late, is not measured by words, it is measured by actions. How did you treat the least among you? Did you see those in pain, or did you turn away? Did you forgive as you sought forgiveness? These are the questions that matter in eternity. For some, the realization is joyous, a confirmation that their life, though imperfect, was rooted in kindness. But for others, the weight of their choices is crushing. They see the moments they ignored, the pain they caused, the love they withheld, and that regret, it is a fire unlike any other. For those who are sent back, the life-changing NDE they experience is not just about witnessing heaven or hell, it is about understanding why they were given a second chance. The proof of the afterlife is not just in the beauty of what lies beyond, but in the urgency of what lies ahead. Because once you've seen the truth, you can never live the same way again. And so the question lingers, if your life were reviewed today, would you be ready to face it? There is a moment in many near-death experiences, NDEs, that is nearly universal, one that transcends culture, religion, and personal belief. It is the tunnel of light, a radiant passage that stretches beyond the limits of human understanding, drawing souls into something far greater than themselves. Some describe it as a swirling vortex, a shimmering bridge, a corridor of pure love and peace. Others say it pulses like a heartbeat, inviting them forward with an undeniable pull. But one thing remains constant. Once inside, nothing else matters. Many who have entered this sacred passage say that the light is not just brightness, it is alive. It welcomes, it embraces, it knows them in a way that no one else ever could. The presence of this light is overwhelming, washing away fear, dissolving doubt. Some say they hear music, unlike anything ever composed by human hands. Others feel as though every unanswered question they've ever had is suddenly clear. And for a moment, they stand at the threshold of eternity, knowing they are home. But the tunnel of light is more than just a doorway. It is a revelation. Some souls report seeing loved ones waiting at the other end, their faces shining with indescribable joy. Others see figures of light, angelic beings sent to guide them into the next phase of existence. And then there are those who encounter Him, the one their hearts have longed for, even if they never knew it. They describe meeting God in an NDE, feeling a love so complete that it reshapes their very essence. Yet, not every journey through the tunnel of light ends in permanence. Some are stopped. Some are told it is not their time. Some are pulled back with a force they cannot resist, awakening in a hospital bed, gasping for breath, forever changed. These miraculous returns are not coincidences. They are missions. Those who come back often speak of a profound responsibility to share what they have seen, to spread the truth about death, to testify to the proof of the afterlife. But here's the most haunting question of all. Why do some enter the tunnel of light, while others fall into darkness? What determines the path a soul takes? And if you were to step beyond this world today, which direction would you be pulled toward? There are those who return from a near-death experience, NDE, with more than just memories. They come back with messages, not just revelations of light and love, but direct warnings, lessons and truths that shake the very foundation of what they once believed. These are the voices of the departed, souls who have crossed into the next world and, for reasons beyond human comprehension, were given permission to speak. And what they say, it changes everything. Some who undergo an out-of-body experience report hearing whispers, gentle yet urgent. They describe encountering spirits who plead with them, begging them to deliver messages to the living. Tell my family I'm at peace. Tell them to forgive. Tell them to change before it's too late. These voices, filled with love or regret, echo across the boundary between life and death, leaving those who hear them forever transformed. But then there are the warnings, the cries from those who found themselves in darkness. Unlike the warmth of the tunnel of light, these souls describe a realm absent of love, a void where regret is an unending torment. Some who have returned from crossing over claim to have heard the desperate voices of those trapped in suffering, reaching out, pleading, crying, "Don't come here. You don't want this. Turn back while you can." Their words serve as a chilling testament to the truth about death, that what we choose in life echoes into eternity. Yet for those who find themselves in the presence of divine love, the messages are different. They speak of forgiveness, of second chances, of a love so profound that it rewrites their very existence. Some claim to have been given a mission, a responsibility to share what they have seen, to reveal the proof of the afterlife, to show others the way before it is too late. And when they return, they are not the same. They cannot be. These testimonies leave us with an undeniable truth. There are voices beyond this world. Some speak of redemption, others of warning, but all carry a message that must not be ignored. And so the question remains, if you had just one chance to hear what the departed have to say, would you listen? Every near-death experience, NDE, every out-of-body experience, every shocking testimony from those who have stepped beyond the veil, each of them leads to one inevitable moment, the final choice. Because whether one enters the tunnel of light or descends into darkness, whether one meets God or is swallowed by the void, there comes a point where a decision must be made. And that decision, it determines everything. Many who have glimpsed the afterlife experiences speak of a crossroads, a moment where they are given the opportunity to stay or return. Some say they are told it is not their time, that they still have a purpose to fulfill. Others plead to remain in the realm of love and peace, but are sent back nonetheless. But then there are those who are given a choice. They stand before the infinite, before the divine, before the full weight of eternity, and they are asked, "What do you choose?" It is here that the truth about death becomes terrifyingly clear. This life, every decision, every act of love or hatred, every moment of kindness or cruelty leads to this one defining instant. Some realize too late that their entire existence has been spent walking away from the light, only to find themselves unable to turn back. Others, humbled by what they have seen, embrace the gift of a miraculous return, knowing they have been spared for a reason. But the most haunting revelation of all, the final choice, is not made in death, it is made in life. This is what so many NDE testimonies confirm. We are choosing our eternity every single day. The way we treat others, the way we forgive, the way we love, these are not just moral virtues. They are markers on the path our soul is walking. And when the moment comes, when the veil is lifted, when the illusion of this world fades, there will be no more hiding, no more pretending, only truth. So the question remains, hanging heavy in the silence, if your final choice were today, would you be ready? Now that you've heard this unbelievable testimony, I have to ask, what do you think really happens after we die? Do you believe in second chances, or do you think some people are beyond redemption? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If this story made you reflect, don't leave without subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. So many people watch but forget to subscribe, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We're bringing more testimonies, more revelations, and more truth about the afterlife that will shake you to the core. Speaking of that, if you want to go even deeper, click on the next video appearing on your screen right now. It's one you can't afford to miss.